maioria sempre na função, na contenção, cuspindo fogo igual Charizard, fazendo papo de...
Hello, YouTube. Hello, my viewers. Hello, my subscribers. Man, I told y'all I made a promise that if I reach 100 subs, I was gonna let y'all have a little insight of what didn't happen to me for the last decade and 3 years. We're gonna start in 2006. Uh, I was diagnosed with a non-Hodgkin lymphoma stage 4 cancer. That is when your white blood cell count overmatches your red blood cell count. And basically, my body was actually turning on itself. And what had happened was that I ended up, my spleen ended up thinking my white blood count was my red blood count. And my spleen is about the size of my wife's fist. And it ended up being the size of almost a basketball before it was being removed because it moved my stomach, my small intestines, and everything that was inside over to my liver side. It was in 2006, I think about June, July, when I wasn't actually diagnosed until August, though. But they had said, from what the doctor told me, if I had to wait 2 more weeks, instead of me being here doing this for you guys to let y'all know what was going on, I would have been in the grave. And I thank God for that. Um, my wife can better explain how all the treatments and everything went because I was basically in and out after the surgery. When I had the splenectomy, I was I was here, but I was not here. So I'm gonna switch it over to my wife so she can better explain everything.
Well, basically, before we get into the surgery and stuff like that, the symptoms of non-Hodgkin's sometimes is starts with fatigue, light sweats, loss of appetite, uh, weight loss, um,
Hmm.
swelling. It can start in the stomach. You can swell in your stomach. You can swell in your joints. What it is, and as far as him, his started in his lymph nodes, where they get the word lymphoma from. Started in his lymph nodes, which was located under his right arm pit. And so what happened? They did a biopsy, and they did a bone biopsy, which they take the a piece of bone
So,
from the hip bone
can I
at
turn
the
it back?
back, and therefore they they examine it, and it kind of tells you where, what progression that cancer is at that particular time. So therefore, that's how he ended up them diagnosing him with the stage 4 cancer. And it was pretty much a long road. All of September we had to wait and see exactly what the doctors was gonna say, what kind of treatments could be done, and at this particular time, during between August and September, he lost 80 pounds within one
Yeah,
month.
240 went down to like 187, 188, or 180. It was something like that.
It was like 170, somewhere along there.
Yeah.
But at this particular time, before he had the surgery, uh, the beginning of October, he was down where he was only eating a popsicle, which would last him all day.
Hmm.
He still was having, if he went out anywhere in the crowds or anything like that, it was just, he was spike a fever at a spur of the moment. You really couldn't pinpoint when it would happen. It just happened because I know one time we was at Pizza Hut, remember?
Yeah.
And his fever his temperature just spiked, and so then he was getting short of breath. Then then he had became where he was in a wheelchair because he was not able to stand up and do his normal functions. So they knew right then that they had to go ahead on and try to decide what they was gonna do as far as his treatments and everything. So they scheduled him for the splenectomy on the 9th of October. He stayed in the hospital a week and a half with that. And then they scheduled him for 9 rounds of intensive chemotherapy in Greenville under Dr. Marone Hyatt, which is which is
Hematologist.
yeah, hematologist and an oncologist.
Now, at that point in time, after the first 4 or 5 rounds of intensive chemo treatments, it took me like 3 days to shake off the chemo treatments because I was doing them every 2 weeks. But right after the fifth, I think it's like after the fifth, I was getting to the sixth one. It took me almost a week and a day to shake off the effects of the chemo treatment. And around about the eighth treatment, I ended up taking the eighth treatment. I thought I could shake it, but after it took me a week and 3 days. I think after that third day, I ended up getting double pneumonia. I ended up being in the hospital that Friday in an emergency room, and they were not sending me home. End up with double pneumonia. The Dr. Hyatt came and seen me, and he said, "We're not going to do the last round because they did a PET scan on me while I was in the hospital with the pneumonia, with the oxygen, everything on me because I couldn't walk for probably from here, probably 2 feet to my door without collapsing." Um, After that, Dr. Singh came in and he basically he gave me antibiotics. He had to give me different ones because my body was basically going from one infection to another infection to another infection. Then he had to basically just give me like different kind of antibiotics real strong. And now from there, we went from there to being in remission. Now we was in remission for like what um
Well, the the cancer process took about 9 months,
hmm
and then from that point, you stayed in remission 6 years,
yeah.
and the next one occurred in 2013. So therefore, I think that would be our next chronicle.
Yeah, that'd be our next
Where we
in tune line on what that's why I said it was a decade and 3 years. I'm not done yet. Um, but I would love to give my appreciation to these people. I like to give my appreciation to Miss Penny Newsom and the Newsom family. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to. She kept me on her insurance, which that's who I was driving for, Jim Newsom Trucking out of Glen Allen, Mississippi. If it wasn't for her, she I wouldn't have been able to pay for my medical bills. Hold on one second, I'll be right back.
So we really didn't know anything about this world. I said this world because it's a whole different world once you are enter into it. But but we didn't have any idea about any resources, who could help us, where to go, um, what we needed to do. We were just spearheading off of whatever resources came along.
Now, hold on. When it came down to resources, now let me be honest with you. I'm gonna be point blank because it's how I am. Medicaid did give me, and I think the two boys, they gave me and the two boys Medicaid, and I think about 3 days later they cut it right off. I mean, like whack. Now, we did get government assistance with food stamps and stuff like that. Um, if it wasn't for the Glenn family, they're from Mississippi to Chicago, Texas, back to Alabama. They know who they are. If it wasn't for the Gibson family from Mohead, Mississippi, my wife and my godparents, God rest Gene Gibson, we gonna miss you. That was one strong man. If it wasn't for my mother-in-law and father-in-law, I can't forget them. Lord have mercy, I can't forget my mother-in-law. Oh Lord, I forget her. I'm
Oh,
gonna
you
catch
talking about Queen May May?
who? I'm gonna catch hell. Uh, if it wasn't for my dad and my stepmom, they they looked out. They looked out, and I promise you, I love every minute of it. Um, if it wasn't for Brianna Molden calling me some days and telling me Uncle Twan gonna be all right. If it wasn't for Elijah, my brother, trying to get in contact with me, where there was no way to get, I couldn't talk at the time. I literally was, I ain't know what was going on, basically. Um,
It
I
just
can't
was a
get,
lot
it
of
was
people
just a
on
lot of
there.
people.
Yeah.
I ain't call your name. I don't mean no disrespect. It's a whole lot of stuff that went on. Um, oh yeah, I gotta call this person out. If it wasn't for Mount Zion, the things that my church done for me, I promise you I would not be here. I have 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on dry land. They said 2 weeks more and I've been dead. But like I said, y'all stay on this journey as we take you on. We're gonna do a little bit more vlogging about it.
Are we gonna take them with us next month?
Oh yeah, I gotta go see. That well, y'all get to see. This time I'm gonna take my camera. We're gonna go on to trips and everything. Show you because as of right now, I can't tell you everything until I get the okay from another doctor. But that's just the first part of the decade that started with this fighting cancer thing. Anything you want to say?
Thank you guys for supporting us, and that we're here to bind and connect with you guys. Not only just reaction videos, but also to spearhead and be a support system to all the other families that may be going through this. And if you think that you don't have a passion to do something, think outside of the box. Don't think that because my husband he's been a truck driver
Yeah.
since 2000, and he was once that same way. He felt like that truck driving was the world, was nothing else out there that he was able to do. Nothing could be done. So of course he likes to talk, and the boys like to talk. So therefore they got together and they went head on, and after I fussed about it, they went head on and started their page. So we're gonna be bringing you a lot of more things other than just reactions because we want you all to feel comfortable being a part of the lockdown family. And it's not only just reactions, but it's actions all around across the board. So, if there's anything else that you want to add,
The only thing I normally add is one up, one down. Mississippi on lockdown. Peace.